Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to F1 2020. My team Crewmid here for round 9 of season 3, the Belgium Grand Prix. And in this episode we are going to be taking a load of engine penalties, doing what we normally do, doing a big bulk of redoing the engine basically entirely. So we're going to be starting. That's no point in showing qualifying because I either didn't run or only did one run. Just to see what my pace was like, and usually it was either a provisional pole or second. I got very good pace around here. The one thing I'll say is very interesting is the first and the last sector I'm very quick at, but the middle sector was was a pain. I was like 1.5 seconds slower than the AI around there for some reason, so I'm having to run 5.11 wings on Belgium. Very high downforce for this track, but yeah, hopefully we can work our way from the back of the grid, so I'll join off at the start of the race. So here we are, P22. We're going to be starting on the softs and then going to the mediums. And as I said, running really high downforce. The AI seemed to be really quick through the middle sector, but also really quick on the straights. Because that makes sense and is fair, I guess. Anyway, we're going to try and do our best, hopefully get into P2 and not lose too many points to Ricciardo. We've got 3, 4, now 5 red lights, and it's lights out and away we go with a very long hold there as we get a fantastic start compared to Grosjean and Latifi. Having to avoid Grosjean actually. Unfortunately we go to the wrong side of the track, so we can't dive the AI down into the source. So we're going to have to go around the outside of them. As Giovinazzi sort of twitches a little bit and that sort of scares us off the track, so we have to take a warning for that because obviously that's fair. Taking avoiding action at turn 1 or one of the tightest corners on F1. But yeah, we're going to hopefully try and make our way through the field. So we've moved up 2 positions off the start already. Hopefully we can get Russell, but it looks like he's going to go 3 wide here, so maybe around the outside of Russell if he gets boxed in, which he looks like he does. And we managed to slip through there. Giovinazzi is currently fighting with De Vries and he runs wide, so we slip up the inside of the Alfa Romeo driver. Now the inside of the Williams driver, big dive down into the unsteering right-hander. And we managed to make up 5 places in pretty much the opening few corners. As now we're heading down into sector 2. This is where the AI are a lot stronger than us. Before we made a change to our setup, we touched the inside curb, which is a big no-no through Puon. And Ricciardo's already breaking out a gap up front. I don't expect to catch Ricciardo in the slightest. As I said, aiming for P2, try and minimise the amount of points we lose to him. Hopefully we'll only lose 6 points to him. As I want to try and get fastest lap. Obviously I doubt that's going to be the case. I reckon he's going to get fastest lap and get the full 8 points over me. Obviously we've got to make it to P2 first though, which is easier said than done sometimes. It is Belgium, very easy to overtake here, but also when the AI is in a big DRS trade, I go around the outside of Magnussen. Magnussen squeezed onto the grass and decides he wants to lunge up the side of Stroll, but we managed to eventually get him into the bus stop. Yeah, as you can see, there's a massive train of cars forming, so it's going to be very difficult to overtake. Conversely, it could make it very easy to overtake. It just depends on the place that I pick. as you can see there, Stroll getting caught up behind Verstappen, which makes him an easy target for us when we slip up the inside. We're checking the weather here, because obviously it is Belgium, it looks very gloomy, and we don't really want, well, we actually want rain to come in, because I'm very good in the rain, and with the setup we're running, I imagine we'll be very good in a dry to wet race, as well as we get in the inside of Verstappen on lap 2 at the final chicane. We're into P14. Hopefully we can continue on march forward, which we indeed do, as we actually got to be inside of Charles Leclerc there. I cut the video off too soon, but we got him. Which is what matters. Now on to lap 4. We're close behind Gasly. He goes really slow through that chicane, then just runs wide for no reason, and lets us go. The AI needs to be improved. This is still 109 AI. I believe I turned it up in Italy to 110 for the race. But yeah, they're just, yeah, they're not particularly intelligent. Like you'll touch the back end, then they'll just slam the brakes on. It's pretty dumb, but whatever. Anyway, we've managed to make it up to P11 ahead of Checo Perez, and it's only lap 5, so we're looking to have a pretty strong pace. Ricardo is just flying out front. Look, the purple dot you can see going at the end of the little DRS straight, the little green marks on the minimap, the purple circle through there, that's Ricardo. For anyone that is new to F1 or doesn't really understand the minimap system in the game, yeah, the purple dot is my teammate. And he's going through that right-hander there, so he's like 15 seconds ahead of us already in 5 laps. We are losing like 3 seconds a lap to him. It's insane. You think Belgium would be, you wouldn't lose too much time because there's not many corners. You'd be wrong, I guess, because it's a long lap. It's different. But we go around the outside of Kvyat on the DRS straight. Hopefully we can get Matsushita pretty soon. As we head into Puon. Probably best overtaking opportunity is into the bus stop, as we're very, very quick down the straights, and that is our strength. And I specifically, I think I lowered the front wing actually from practice at least, to make the race easier. But Matsushita once again not accelerating for some reason, then get very twitchy, and yeah, I'm getting like very, very big rookie vibes from Matsushita, not really knowing what to do when confronted with a much faster car and a much quicker driver. But we go around the outside of him into the bus stop chicane, as that's our preferred line through there, and we're up into P9. And as we come across the line, we are going to set our personal best. Actually, we're not going to set our personal best of the race. Nearly did. Now Sainz and Aitken are going hammer and tong into Les Combes. And Sainz looks to maybe get ascendancy. They go side by side, so they're holding each other massively. We sort of pull back for the start of that corner. That allows us to get a better run and get up the inside of Sainz, potentially into the steering right-hander, which we managed to do. He backs out of that move, and now we've got Aitken up next on our hit list. After that, there's a pretty big air gap between him and Norris, and then Norris has got a big air gap between himself and Albon, as we have a yellow flag. Because a car has an engine retirement, and that looks to be one of the Ferraris at the exit of Puon. I think it might be Charles Leclerc that has that engine retirement, so we're actually going to check on the replay camera to see what it is. I don't do this too often because it is very rarely like a race-ending collision. So we're already on board here with Verstappen actually, and yeah, it is well, we're right on board with Leclerc now, but yeah, it is Leclerc. Doesn't look like an engine failure, maybe an MG UK failure, something internal, because there's some big plumes of smoke coming out the back of the car. So that's Charles out of the race, unfortunately. Now back to our race. We're looking for a move on Aitken. We are going to be using the overtake just yet, as we don't really want to be going side by side with him through Blanchimont. We're going to want to use the overtake at the exit here to propel us towards the outside ramp bus stop, as we so love to do, and round the outside we go, and he pretty much lets us have that position. And now we've got Norris, who's 1.9 up the road, and then we've got 4.5 seconds to Albon, so hopefully we should get Norris at least by the time we pit, which we will be doing in the next couple of laps, onto the mediums. Obviously the one stop is the preferred strategy around here. As we come onto the end of lap 7 here, we're going to go up the inside this time of Lando Norris, switching up a bit. Maybe his team told him on the radio that I preferred the outside. He did defend the outside, so yeah, we decided to change it up a little bit there as we set our personal best by an entire second, and that's without DRS. That's just a second purely lost in the middle sector because of AI battling. And as you see, Ricciardo also pitted. He's gone to hards, interestingly. As I think we're going to pit this lap or next lap. It's actually going to be maybe lap 9 we pit. Yes, it is for the mediums. So 2 laps difference between the hards and the mediums, which is usually the AI's interesting strategy. We aren't going to catch Ricciardo unless there's a safety car. Obviously, we do have 2 sets of fresh softs to use. So I'm hoping there's a safety car, but I doubt there will be, as it very rarely appears at Belgium. But we're going to be coming in now for the mediums, hopefully make the undercut work, and from a pretty decent stop by the boys, 2.3 seconds I think, and we're going to rejoin just behind Bottas. So we've actually gained a little bit of time there and a couple of positions over some of the cars. I think we gained a lot on Albon actually. As when I'm going around the outside of Valtteri, he's on the hards. There's no real competition there between fresh mediums and fresh hards, or like couple lap old hards. As Stroll comes into the pits, that promotes us onto the podium. So halfway through the race, we've gone from last to a podium. So I'm very happy with that. And now on lap 13, we are going to try and shape up a move on Hamilton. We only have 10 laps left, 9 once we cross the line at the end of this lap. As we just get Hamilton into the braking zone. We do have fastest lap, so currently we're only losing 6 points to Ricciardo, but unfortunately that's going to be it. I don't think we even got any closer. We may have got within 14 seconds of Ricciardo, but he was just far too strong in this race. And as the race went on, his hards got considerably better, and he actually picked up fastest lap as well, which is rather annoying. Must have saved a lot in his tyres for the end of the race, and we're not going to pick up fastest lap as we cross the line. So yeah, we're going to be losing 8 points to Ricciardo. That's the second race in a row we've lost out to him. So maybe this is the turning point in the championship where Ricciardo starts to come a lot more stronger than we do. So yeah, well, I say it's a good day for us. You know, we did well. As Ricciardo actually went a second faster than what we were able to do, which is just ridiculous. Maybe he had DRS helping hand, I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, a good day, a good recovery drive from last to first. That's 2 races, or last to podiums, 2 races in a row we've done that now. We need to stop doing that if we actually want to win this title. But Ricciardo's close to more points than us. He's now 18 points behind us in the drivers' standings. We once again increased the gap on Mercedes. So yeah, it's going pretty well. Hopefully we can have some better luck in Italy. Hopefully we can have better luck in Singapore as well. Because after those 2 races, we have Russia and Japan. And I just know that I'm naturally going to lose points in those races because they are not strong tracks for me. I hate Russia on this game, and I also hate Japan on this game. Actually, no, Japan is better on this game. I don't mind it. But I don't feel like I've got a good enough setup for that track, especially with these Season 3 career mode cars. So I'm expecting Daniel to gain like a free 16 points out of those races at the best case scenario, really. But there in future episodes, you know, maybe something happens and Ricciardo gets a retirement, but you know, you never know with this sport. And now we're just doing the typical housekeeping thing. We're going to be doing a podium celebration and another upgrade, a driver press conference, I think it was. I don't remember actually. We're not going to give Ricardo a simulation training because he's far too quick at the moment. We are going to upgrade our durability department, and we're going to increase or reduce the build time. We're also going to improve the marketing. Don't remember entirely what the marketing does, but we're doing it anyway because why not? We're looking at some more upgrades, but what my plan here is to save the resource points in case there is a inter-season change in the regulations, because I don't want to go into season 4 really down on performance. So I'm electing to pretty much stop R&D apart from maybe a couple of durability upgrades, in the hope that if there is an inter-season change, that we can benefit from that and literally not lose any performance whatsoever. So I'm going to be keeping a bank of around 3,000 resource points for the rest of the season. But yeah, if you did enjoy this episode, please do leave a like, share and subscribe, and I'll catch you all for round 10, I believe, the Italian Grand Prix, very soon.